Buenos días y bienvenidos. Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tucson on Sunday, June 14th, 2026, a date which, when I was a child, was celebrated as Flag Day. In the post-World War II patriotic euphoria of the late 40s and early 50s, we just looked forward to lining our sidewalks and porches and windows with the stars and stripes. My name is Bob Gordon, and I'm the worship associate this morning. I'm glad to see you all. Summer is taking its toll, I can see. First, some housekeeping. Please be sure your phone is turned off or on mute at least. There are 2 gender-specific restrooms in the front lobby, and in the alcove behind the AV desk, there's a single-use accessible restroom. And there are more single-use accessible restrooms in Goddard Hall, the social hall across the patio. On Sunday mornings only, this sanctuary, the social hall, parking lots, and the children's classrooms are considered public spaces. However, we have designated a number of other areas as private. They're labeled with yellow signs, such as the ones you see behind you. And invitation or entry to those spaces is by invitation only, even for law enforcement officers, including ICE agents, unless they have a proper signed judicial warrant. If you need to take advantage of any of those private spaces, we invite you. You are hereby invited. The values of our faith call us to take this position in light of the policies of our current administration. On behalf of the congregation, I want to extend a warm welcome to any visitors, including those that might be watching us on live stream. I don't know why I go like this. I do, because I see a screen behind you, and that reminds me of what the people are seeing who are on live stream. Anyway, if you're here for the first time today and you're willing, please raise your hand so we can welcome you. Any first-time visitors? Right. Here at UUCT, we want everyone to feel welcome. Please join me in this short litany, first in Spanish, then in English. For the Spanish, I'll say a phrase and then have you repeat it, and then we'll read the English together, of course. And I'm going to just do the first word separately because that's a hard-looking word, and it's quien quiera. Quien quiera means whoever. So, quien quiera que haya sido, te damos la bienvenida. Te damos la bienvenida. Quien quiera que seas, te damos la bienvenida. Quien quiera que te hagas, te damos la bienvenida. And together, whoever you have been, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Whoever you are becoming, we welcome you. Let's remember now those desert people who came first to this place and whose land was stolen in successive acts of displacement and genocide. We honor the O'odham, the Yaqui, the Apache, and we remember the Hohokam and other indigenous peoples whose names we simply no longer know. Finally, every week we highlight one of our 6 Unitarian Universalist values. This week, though, I want to emphasize love, which is in the center of our values. Love holds us together as we constantly work to align our actions and our values.
Good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Jamili Omar, and I'm honored to serve as the minister here. This month's theme is reparations, which Helen so ably laid out for us last week. She said, every week we mention acts of displacement and genocide, and she listed some very specific ones that led us to where we are here today. She says, we care because the past informs the present. The past shapes our lives individually and collectively. Our past shapes who we are allowed to be here and now. So we, as Unitarian Universalists, have pledged to be a people of restorative justice. You cannot restore something you know nothing about. So the first step of reparation is knowledge. We need to know what happened in the past to be able to act with justice in the present. The first step of repairing is knowledge. We need to know what happened in the past to be able to act with justice in the present. Reparations is one of those terms that comes heavy with assumptions, historical meaning, call to action that can be, let's face it, difficult. So, a definition. Reparations is commonly used as a monetary or other compensation payable to a country or an individual for historical wrong. Restoration, in other words, is restoring someone to a good condition. And this is where we get in our own way. One, monetary. Is it off? It's funny. Okay. I'm being harassed by the front row. Fix your microphone. Is that better? Good. And we've only just begun. Oh, great. I think they brought tomatoes today. So here's where we get in our own way, right? When we think of reparations solely as being monetary, there are other ways to make reparations. And second, when I realize I'm not the one who caused the harm, why am I the one making amends? Our egos get in our way. Reparations, the fixing of past harms, begins with truth-telling, and so that's where we will begin. And all of us can participate in truth-telling about the various communities that have been and are still being harmed in our society. So Helen gave a brilliant summary of the history of displacement and genocide in Pima County. Go watch it if you haven't watched it. It's on our YouTube. Today, we turn our attention not to our land, but to another area of human life and society. The not European culture, but the culture of gender. And today we tell some truths. We're going to be brave about where we are today. We're going to celebrate the ancestors who defied gender expectations to create a more just and equitable world. And this is work that we can certainly take up. So come, let us worship together. Bert, will you please come light our chalice while Bob and I read these words?
Spanish first. These words for chalice lighting are from The Infinite Divinity, La Divinidad Infinita, by Jamie Yandel. El cáliz está encendido.
The chalice is lit.
Y en las llamas,
and in the flames,
los recuerdos de nuestros antepasados trans y no binarios
the memories of our trans and non-binary ancestors.
Bailan con libertad y liberación.
They do a dance of freedom and liberation,
recordándonos que somos completos y sagrados.
Reminding us that we are whole and holy.
Somos amados sin medida.
We are loved beyond all measure.
Y en nuestro rechazo a aceptar nada menos,
and in our refusal to accept anything less,
que sepamos que estamos arraigados en la divinidad infinita,
may we know we are rooted in the infinite divinity,
no relegados a los márgenes de la red de toda existencia,
not relegated to the outskirts of the web of all existence,
sino consagrados en su núcleo,
but enshrined at its core,
encarnados con polvo de estrella y de hadas,
enfleshed with stardust and fairy dust,
una creación deliberada de espacio,
an intentional creation of space,
donde nuestros numerosos dioses,
where our many gods,
donde divinidades tan diversas como nosotros viven,
where divinities as diverse as us live.
So today's songs are ones that some of you will know, some of you won't know, but good news. If you sing what I sing, that's great, but if you sing something else, it will probably work fine. So let your hearts and ears guide you as you rise, as you are able. and let's sing. First song is Draw the Circle Wide, Mark Miller, and we'll sing the openings of that. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle
Every week, we witness the joys and sorrows of our congregation and our world. I grieve for those who were not and are still not given opportunities to thrive, who were not and are not embraced as they were, as they are, who had and still have to hide their fullness. And I celebrate with deep joy those who led us and will lead us to a more inclusive and embracing view of all humanity. As we pour water into the bowl, we remember those people around the world without access to safe drinking water, including those who are probably crossing our desert right now in search of a better life. The large rocks in our bowl symbolize our collective mournings and celebrations. In a moment, you may come up and add smaller stones representing your own joys and sorrows. Our church community, like the bowl, can hold all of those. We're stronger together than separately. If you want to share your joy or sorrow with all of us, you can go to menti.com and put in the code 5683-4243. It also says you can use your phone's camera to click on the QR code. Now I invite those of you who are here in person to come up to the table and place a stone in the bowl, creating ripples of memory and hope. There's also a bowl in the back if you don't want to be on camera or if it's just more convenient.
on our Menti today. So very grateful for UUCT, Singing Resistance Tucson, the Ukulele Fight Club, Move On, and No Kings for coordinating the public watch party here today. This is wonderful for our Tucson community. Oh my gosh, Leslie, we couldn't have done this without you. Everybody is invited to come back this afternoon. Doors open at 4, concert starts at 4:30. It's a concert to celebrate the First Amendment, which is also why we have all of these chairs today. We're not actually as empty as we look. We just set up, we got 150 RSVPs. So we set up 200 chairs. So we'll see how it goes. So thank you, Leslie, for all your work, and Mary Holly for all your support. Joy, blessings of goodness aboundingly, sorrow, the ongoing grinding in Palestine, other amazing people and community of UUCT. That sounds like a sermon, friends, right there. Joy, my memoir, Big Judy, my telling of how I learned to resist, was published today in the Ohio Writers Association new anthology, Resistance. Read it and resist, Steve Kranack. I bet there's a good way we can look that up and find it. Book club reading. My dear sister and I weathered together as pillars of matriarchs for our community. She stood taller, stronger, greater than me. I still stand somehow while she now rests. What a fitting tribute for a strong, powerful woman. My elderly mother has a do not resuscitate order. I am sad. Our prayers go with you, friend. Congratulations and blessings to my niece and her groom. Congratulations, Leslie. And sad that my longtime friend has to move away from Tucson due to medical reasons and his family care choices. Glad that other friends are helping with emotional support. Glad we have community there to pick us up when we need it. So join me in a moment of prayer or reflection, contemplation, meditation, whatever it is that calls to your soul today. Creator of life, source of all being, it was from the particles of the universe that you formed me, iron and carbon and phosphorus, mixed with energy and passion and dreams. I was made in your image, says ancient scripture, made from the colors of the rainbow, shaped with bones straight and curved, padded with flesh flabby and lean, nearsighted, farsighted, short-sighted, and long in vision. I was made in your lineage, says ancient scripture, made strong and tall, short and stout, born with hands tender and fragile, aged with hands gnarled and mature. Large nose, small nose, crooked nose, who knows the mathematical infinitude of your genetic possibilities? I was made in your image, says ancient scripture, made to give love and receive love. And when I touch another in love, it matters only that the fire of life brings its light to the darkness, deadness of a world that cannot exist without love's transformative power. I was made in your image, said ancient scriptures, but who are you? I need to know. I am, says ancient scripture. I simply am. I am the light of all being. I am the divine spark. I am the source of love, the most transformative power in the universe. All life is in my image. I am in you, and you are in me. I am in your siblings. They too are in me. I am in your pain and your suffering. I am in your compassion and joy. I am light and love and hope and possibility, and so are you. Creator of all life, source of all being, I forgot that you are everywhere. I forgot that I am everywhere. Thank you for reminding me, for reminding us of who I am. Amen, and may it be so.
Please join me. Test. Please join me on this refrain. Hold on, hold on. harmonize. Hold on. Hold on. My dear ones, here comes the dawn. Hold on. Hold on. My dear ones, here comes the dawn.
So picture it. Scotland, 1630. A well-established family in Aberdeenshire, who are already holders of a barony, a noble title, were bestowed a baronetcy. That's the second hereditary British title, created by the crown. It sits above knighthood, but below baron. It's the highest rank of peerage, which is part of the noble class. Importantly, this is a title that only passes to male heirs. Got it? Male heirs. Now, fast forward to 1965, when the whole concept of the English nobility and primogeniture was called into question by this family's loss of its oldest son. The family name was Forbes, and in 1965, the oldest of 4 children died, leaving only the youngest son, Ewan, to inherit the title and the large estate. Will you get Jesus to get us some help? Will you get Jesus to get us some help? Thank you. We've got a chair there in the back, Brian, too. Cynthia, if we need a wheelchair. There's an actual wheelchair right by your right hand. We've got somebody who's not feeling great. I'm going to lie down. We're going to see if we need to get her some help. We have an expert nurse back there with her. Can we move to the foyer for some privacy?
I don't think we're stable enough.
Not stable enough yet? Okay. Thank God for the nurses we have in our congregation, and the doctors and all the medical professionals. Could we go back, Cynthia, to the slide with hold on? We could do that a little bit. Let's go back to the slide that has hold on it. Maybe we could try singing that one again. Thank you, Danielle. Bob, will you help me? I'm not a singer. Dawn, hold on, my dear ones. Oh, here comes the dawn.
This song's nice because, among the fact that it works well on the notes there, and incidentally, if you read music, we're singing in a different key because my voice doesn't work in this key. So if you read music, I apologize. Trying to help you, but harming you a little. This works nicely because you can sing one note and get through almost all of it. Hold on, my dear ones, hold here, dear ones, here comes the dawn. But you can sing other notes as well. Hold on, hold on, my dear ones, here comes the dawn. Good. Some of you know this song, some of you don't. Join in if you know it. If you don't, you'll catch it very quick. I don't remember all the words, so I will be making them up a little as we go, but it goes something like, I am sending you light to heal you and hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Again, that. I am sending you light to heal you and hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. That's the chorus. It'll come around again. I've walked the path with you. Go on, dear, don't hurry. Just go just where you need to go. There is no need to worry, 'cause I am sending you light to heal you and hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. And I am sending you light to heal you and hold you. And I am sending you light to hold you in love. Thank you.
Thank you all. Way to hold the space for us. Thank you. She's going to be okay. We are not going to call the ambulance yet, unless we need to. So if we do, we'll sing some more. And she fainted before the big reveal of this story, right? So we're in 1965. We have the oldest brother of this family who dies. No brainer, right? It goes to the next son in the family. Except Ewan, the son who was still around in this family, was assigned female at birth. Ewan, who was an established physician at this time, in 1952 had formally become male by the simple process of requesting a warrant for birth re-registration. So he went to the officials and said, I was assigned female at birth, but I am actually a male. Changed his name to Ewan Forbes Sempill. Then in 1962, the oldest brother passed. Ewan stood to inherit the baronetcy. Now this is significant because it came with a large plot of land and obviously a noble title. At the end of that inheritance period, it was challenged by his cousin, who argued that the re-registration was invalid, and so Ewan was not, in fact, a male and could not be considered able to inherit the baronetcy. So at the end, after an exhausting and invasive proceedings in court, Ewan was given the title and vested Sir Ewan Forbes, the 11th Baronet. But all was not over. The case got out into the press, and there were headlines like, former girl, now NS peer, And, quote, Elizabeth, the dead name, becomes baronet, which titillated the public, leading Ewan and his wife Patty to retreat into a sheltered life, seeking privacy. Author Zoe Payton, an author of the book about Sir Ewan's life, wrote, quote, I never knew what the motive had been for removing all trans civil liberties and consigning trans people to the outmost fringes of society. It was very shocking to see the evidence that it was done to protect the political interest of a very tiny minority of royal and aristocratic men whose inheritances were, and still are, regulated by male inheritance, primogeniture. So to protect the titles and male inheritances. So here's another story from the book Female Husband, A Trans History by Jen Mannion. They tell the story of Charles Hamilton, an English 18th century, quote, female husband. Assigned female at birth and initially brought up as a girl, they took the name Charles and started presenting as a male at age 14. In 1746, while living as a man, they married Mary Price. After Price reported that she was suspicious of Hamilton's manhood to local authorities, Hamilton was prosecuted for vagrancy and sentenced in 1946 to a public whipping in 4 towns and to 6 months imprisonment with hard labor. The surviving records of these cases indicate that Hamilton was prosecuted for vagrancy. The fact that there had been sexual intimacy with Mary Price prompted public opinion to seek such severe punishment because it was considered deceitful sexuality. In their book, Mansion reviews United States and United Kingdom historical material from 1746 to 1910, including newspapers and court records to recount the lives of more than a dozen people who were assigned female and interacted with society as men, including some who married women. So there's this trope in the anti-trans community that transness, non-binariness, gender fluidity, or anything except a very distinct, very limited version of manhood and womanhood is somehow new. A new phenomenon led by pedophiles and spread to our vulnerable youth through social media. And the pro-human rights community has begun telling the truth that trans, non-binary, gender fluid, and a host of other identities and expressions of gender have always been here. There has never been a time in human history that a variety of gender expressions did not exist. They have always existed. This history, however, has largely been erased, if it was even recorded, and much of the records that survive are through legal documents like court cases and arrest records of folks who have been in the criminal justice system for violations of gender norms, and actual gender police. This history is just beginning to be resurrected from the past, and there are still more stories to be found and told. What is challenging about these stories is that people have not always perceived sex and gender in the ways we do today. So, a quick primer. Julia Serrano, the author of the book Whipping Girl, a transsexual woman on sexism and scapegoating of femininity, a fascinating read also. Like, the whole list today is just great. She writes, gender is a noun. It can refer to identities or social classes that are generally organized around some of the following facets: a person's assigned gender or sex, legal sex, physical sex, the gender they identify with, or their lived life. She also defines sex with regards to bodies. It includes a suite of sexually dimorphic traits that may include chromosomes, gonads, external genitalia, other reproductive organs, ratio of sex hormones, and secondary sex characteristics. Clearly, our time today is going to be a limited investigation of these gigantic topics. People spend years of their lives untangling gender and sex, social influence and biological predetermination, identity and expression, history and contemporary lived experience. So if you want to delve deeper, let's get that adult OWL class up and running again. Our whole lives is a place where we really get into those topics. For today, in our contemporary culture, we have a sense that our sex and gender are something that are innately within us, something that we discover and remains fairly stable through our lifetimes. A person has a gender identity they express through dress and mannerisms. A person has a sex or the bodily characteristics that develop over time. And sexuality or romantic attraction, that's the person I want to have coffee with in the morning or not. These are complex and overlapping categories. One's gender does not necessarily correlate to one's sexuality or romantic attractions, even though we have many stereotypes about how gay or lesbian folks present. But in times past, and for many people currently, gender is not stable, or it is different from the sex they were assigned at birth. So how do we understand these stories of people who defy gender norms for a part or all of their lives? We can imagine the lives they had beyond the headlines they generated. So they had work lives. In all of United States history, there's only been one woman to receive the Medal of Honor. Mary Edwards Walker is that woman. As a surgeon, a woman rights activist, abolitionist, and spy, Walker became the first U.S. Army surgeon during the Civil War to be female. We can imagine other military services. There are hundreds of known people assigned female at birth who dressed in men's clothing and went and fought in the military. Sarah Rosetta Wakeman, under the name of Lyons Wakeman, was one of these hundreds of women who disguised herself to fight in the U.S. Civil War. We can also imagine their home lives. Some of these people have raised children. Emrys Ma, a contemporary writer, author, writes about their experience parenting as a non-binary person. They write, "My son calls me Mimi, but I hadn't landed on that name while I was expecting. I just knew I wouldn't be mom. But every week at prenatal yoga, the instructors would end their classes in the same way. Now, mommies, put your hands on your bellies." Quote, "Even typing this out brings back a wave, a discomfort, a complete absence of belonging. There are plenty of non-binary parents who are comfortable with the binary parental monikers, but mom never felt like me. To me, motherhood feels linked to womanhood, and I am not a woman. I never have been." As a result, pregnancy was gender dysphoric for Emrys. They struggled every day in their pregnancy to embody who they truly were. And in the book, So Many Stars, An Oral History of Trans, Non-Binary, Genderqueer, and Two-Spirit People of Color, Chino Lee Chung, who is an Asian transmasculine guy who has all these experiences of being a little girl, being a lesbian, just all my different identities and personas. My whole life I have studied what it means to be masculine. So now, as Chino, he is trying to decide how his daughter should call him. He writes, quote, "Before my daughter Luna was born, my wife Maya and I talked about what we thought she should call us. Dad, Mom, Baba. It's pretty incredible because I, as a male-identified parent, wasn't out as trans then and didn't feel like I could ask my daughter to call me Daddy or Dad or any of the more male-identified terms. I didn't feel like I had earned that. So even at this point in his life, Chino did not feel like he was enough. So when Luna was born," he writes, "and as she started talking, I asked her to call me Baba, the male word for father in Chinese. One day, Luna came home for daycare and called me Daddy. At first, I felt like I didn't deserve it or I couldn't own it, so I ignored her. I didn't say anything. I didn't act like I was that person. But my daughter kept calling me Daddy and just insisted I was her dad. That's just what she called me. So one day I started responding, answering back to her. That's how it happened." He writes, As a little girl who's just finding language herself, she helped me to accept my own identity. At the time she was born in 2004, the members of my community who were having kids in the more masculine butch roles, their kids weren't calling them daddy. My friends were coming to me and asking me how I was able to take on that name. My daughter helped me to be that, who I wanted to be. So here we sit today, June 14th, between the two U.S. holidays meant to honor parents, Mother's Day and Father's Day, between holidays that effectively say we are one or the other, talking about people who are neither mother nor father, and some who are both mother and father. Talking about children who are neither boy nor girl, some who are both boy and girl, like Emrys, like Chino, like Sir Ewan Forbes, Mary Edwards Walker, Sarah Rosetta Wakeman, and so many more unnamed and forgotten ancestors, like someone you probably know. Their work with their child is no less parenting. Their work with their child, nurturing the spirit of that person, waking in the middle of the night as a comforting presence, cleaning up spills and cleaning up broken hearts, comforting others when the struggles of growing up into their fullest, brightest selves have been made more difficult in a world that doesn't have a place for them. When do we recognize and honor them? When we sang earlier about drawing the circle wide, this is what we are challenging ourselves to do, to name and recognize all the many ways to be human, to honor the inherent worth and dignity of all persons, to seek justice and equity because we know that the web of love does in fact include all. I've said to a couple people today I was overthinking this sermon this week, and I couldn't decide if parenting beyond the binary meant honoring parents or the children, and somehow it seems right to say it's both and so much more. And in this time when the legal and social implications of simple survival is threatened, the actions are the same. This is the work of reparations. First, name it. Our UUA has put out a beautiful statement on acceptance of all bodies and all expressions being whole and holy. Second, we create relationships with both impacted and less impacted partners. We don't have to do this work alone. We are never alone. There are folks out there on the front lines leading this work that we can join. And third, we make reparations. Reparations can be as easy as hanging a flag in your window. It can be as hard as going up to Phoenix and speaking to the legislature. Those of us with embodied power can use that to serve those who don't have it. We can also be explicit. When we encounter a parent who is parenting either as a non-binary parent or non-binary children, we can tell them, we see you, we love you, you're doing great. Keep it up. And maybe we can learn from Sir Ewan's mom, who supported him in obtaining medical support for his transition in the early 1900s, helped him get testosterone when it first became available. And we can believe people when they tell us who they are. Because friends, remember, we were never meant to hide in closets. We were never meant to be spoken of in whispered corners by a world filled with others afraid of their own reflections. We were never meant to hide. We were always meant to blaze. So blaze, my friends. All of us in all of our beauty, let's bring the light of justice, equity, love into the world with us. Thank you.
This congregation is entirely self-supporting. That is, we don't receive any funding for the regular ongoing operations for this church from outside sources. So obviously we need your financial support. At the same time, though, we say that all are welcome here, regardless of your financial means, and we mean that when we say it. Please know that we appreciate all gifts to this community, financial and otherwise. One Sunday each month is designated as Share the Plate Sunday, on which we give half of the non-pledged collection to a community organization whose mission we support. Share the Plate is an expression of our value of generosity. This month's recipient is the Native American Advancement Foundation, and I'm reading from their mission statement. The Native American Advancement Foundation was formed in 2011 by members of the Tohono O'odham Nation. Through the combined efforts of tribal members and by partnering with outside organizations, we help strengthen our Native American communities in the areas of education, health and wellness, housing, food sustainability, environment, animal welfare, and the development of economic opportunities on tribal lands. Half of the amount of all checks made out to UUCT that they say Share the Plate on the memo line, as well as half of all cash donations go to the NAAF. If Share the Plate is not written in your check's memo line, then it will simply go to UUCT. If you're joining us virtually, you can send a check to the church office. You can write Share the Plate in the memo, or you can give online at uuctucson.org/donate. If you give online, be sure to indicate that your donation is for Share the Plate. For those of you here in person, the ushers will now circulate baskets for your donations.
Good morning. My name is Janet Moore, and I am Vice President of Finance on your board. I want to invite everyone to social hour after the service in Goddard Hall, which is out the double doors behind you and to your left. There will be coffee, iced tea, lemonade, snacks, and good company. Social hour snacks and refreshments are free, but of course, donations are always appreciated. If you're new and want to stay in touch with us, you can fill out a guest information card in the Welcome Center in Goddard. There's also a guest information card on our website. And there are plenty of announcements. Thank you to the safety and facilities teams who shepherded the $100,000 grant to completion. Yay! Barb, Mike, Dennis, Carolyn Valdez, Ken, Jean, and everyone else. Thank you for all your hard work keeping our people and property safe. Yes. We're having a watch party today, June 14th, starting at 4:30, but we'd like to have you at 4, have you arrive at 4. We will be projecting the live Rise Up and Sing Out concert, celebrating the First Amendment with celebrities including Bette Midler, Jane Fonda, Patti Smith, Rufus Wainwright, and more. This is a 90-minute concert of music and activism to celebrate the freedoms of speech, religion, press, assembly, and protest. The venue is both in Goddard and here in Holland. I believe there's some live music before the program here, and all the snacks will be in Goddard. Please arrive early. Donations and snacks are gladly accepted. For more information, contact Leslie Scott, who I think is here somewhere. And she has an email address also, which is the word relent, and then the name Leslie, @gmail.com. If you're interested in signing the membership book, join Reverend Jamili in the Minister's Study, which is right back there, immediately after worship today. Reverend Jamili or anyone on the membership team is available to talk about membership if you have questions. Generosity is a UU core value, and we are grateful to you. There is still time to fulfill your pledge for 2025-26 before the church year ends on June 30th. Funds tend to run low during the summer, so any amount is greatly received. That's from the Finance Committee, and me too.
Come in, please enter and come in, come in, come in. We're glad that you are here. You are learning, you are growing, just as we are too. We are singing, so glad to share this space with you.
Welcome, everybody. So I have a story today. It's a picture book. It's called It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity. Not surprising for those of us that already been here all day. And we're going to see the pictures on the screen. But if anybody wants to get closer, I have a tablet. You could come and listen to the story with me up here. Ben, do you want to come and listen? I'm going to sit right here on my best teacher voice. It feels good to be yourself. Most generally, that is a true thing. Anybody else want to come up and see the pictures closer? Hi, friends. Can you see? So this is Ruthie. What do you notice about Ruthie? Does she have on a pink dress like you? Yeah, she does. She's a transgender girl. That means when she was born, everyone thought she was a boy. Until she grew a little older, old enough to tell everyone she's actually a girl.
Like me.
Yeah, she does. And look, she has long hair. A girl is Ruthie's gender identity. So next picture. There we see Ruthie again. Next picture. There. That's Ruthie in close-up. Next picture. This is Ruthie's brother. Can you point? Where do you think Ruthie's brother is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's him with the sword. Xavier is a...
This is Dad and his brother, and his puppy and his Will and his mom.
Yeah, we have all kinds of grown-ups in here, don't we? And the puppy. Yeah. I wonder what the puppy's name is. Maybe not Ruby. That's my dog's name. Xavier is a cisgender boy. That means when Xavier was born, everyone thought he was a boy, and as he grew up, he said, hey, I'm a boy. Boy is Xavier's gender identity. Next picture, there are so many different ways to be a boy or a girl, and too many to fit in this book. But if not,
There's a puppy and a baby and baby.
there are so many people in this picture, and they all look different, don't they?
And a puppy.
And a puppy.
Yes, that's it.
Not everyone feels like they're either a boy or a girl. Non-binary is a word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl.
I have a and a book.
Next picture. This is Ruthie's friend Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl, but Alex is both a boy and a girl. That is Alex's gender identity. This is Alex's friend JJ on the next picture. There we go. This is JJ. JJ is neither a boy nor a girl. Ever since JJ was very little, they never felt exactly like a boy or a girl.
Those are boys.
Some are boys and some are neither. JJ's gender, this is JJ's gender identity. They just felt like themselves. Next picture. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or a girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary. Too many to fit in this book, although we've got lots of kids in this book. Some kids don't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. They feel like neither. Some kids feel like their gender identity isn't always the same. It's often changing. Next picture. And even when all of these possible ways to be, some kids don't feel like any of the words are right. There are never-ending number of ways to describe people. So next picture. Whether you feel like a boy, a girl, both, neither, or if you describe yourself another way, that is your gender identity. Your identity might match what people thought about you when you're born, or it might not.
Baby bunny.
There's babies in this book. Because when babies are born, we make a guess. But when the baby grows up and they can tell us who they are, they do. And when people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5. Next picture. Oh, we can't look at the babies anymore. Ruthie.
That's my mom and that's my dad and that's me and that's Louie.
You have more kids in your family than just 2, though. When people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5 when she told her parents, and that little pink bubble up there says, I know you think I'm a boy, but really, I feel like a girl. Oops, Ruthie was a girl all along. They just didn't know it yet. When people guess right, next picture, it's also okay to let them know. Xavier was 3.5 when he told his family. This little bubble says, I'm a boy. I like being a boy.
That looks like a lot of boys.
No? And look at their dog in the corner. I don't know if you all can see the dog still. Oh, you can just see the tail down there in the little corner. Okay, next picture. You might feel like a boy, you might feel like a girl, you might feel like both boy and girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day, and you know what? That's okay. And sometimes we're just not sure, and maybe you're still figuring out, and that's okay. Your feelings about your gender are real. Listen to your heart. It feels good to be yourself, so do it. The end. Thank you for helping me tell the story. And we all celebrate the puppies in there. All the puppies. Thank you all. You can go back to your seats if you'd like. Although, does one of you want to put out the chalice? You want to do the chalice extinguishing? You want to help me with the candle? We're going to sing one song and then we'll do the candle. Okay, stay here.
This last song we'll catch pretty quickly, I think. hum or whatever as you are learning the song, and please rise as you are able. Let the life I lead speak for me. Just a little slower. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm come to the end of the road, lay down my heavy load. Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the work I do speak for me. Let the work I do speak for me. When I do all that I can and my friends don't understand, let the work I do speak for me. I can't remember if that pause is there or not. Let the songs I speak for me. Let the songs I speak for me. When I lift my voice and sing, and it changes everything. Let the songs I sing speak for me. Let the love I share speak for me. Let the love I share speak for me. When I open up my heart, a brand new start. Let the love I share speak for me. Let the friends I keep speak for me. Let the friends I keep speak for me. When I've drawn the circle wide, let everyone inside. Let the friends I keep speak for me. Thank you.
Please join me in these words of chalice extinguishing from The Unbroken Chain by Tyler Boyle. As we extinguish our chalice, may we remember that we are links in an unbroken chain of fighters. May this flame live on within us, just as the memory of our LGBTQ+ ancestors does, inspiring us to carry on the torch of justice. May it be so.
Hey, buddy. All right.